Welcome to the Pursuit of Now podcast. I'm Chase.
And I'm Katrina.
And let the pursuit begin. And we are back.
Hello.
Welcome back to the show. Sorry for the late drop. We had a little bit of some technical difficulties earlier on this weekend.
We did, and I almost forgot we had a podcast. This feels different.
Yeah, it does feel different because we are end of the day podcasting today, which usually, as you know, if you've been around for a while, typically Saturday mornings is sort of our thing, but we're doing a weekday cast.
Yep, on a Tuesday.
So, and not just any Tuesday, I may add, because it is actually Valentine's Day today.
Yes, it is.
Happy Valentine's Day, Trine.
Happy Valentine's Day.
So in the spirit of Valentine's Day, what should we be talking about today?
Well, it's important to say that this is our Valentine's Day special.
Valentine's Day special?
That's going to drop. Are we going to drop it today?
Yeah, maybe. We'll see.
Okay,
I could probably get it out today.
We might mess around and drop it today.
Yeah.
On Valentine's Day, and you're probably going to listen to it on maybe tomorrow. I don't know.
Post Valentine's Day.
Yeah, so this is a post Valentine's Day special.
There you go. I love it.
But we're recording it on Valentine's Day, so this is basically our date.
Yeah.
So
yeah. This is our date?
I mean, pretty much.
Yeah, we're on a date right now. I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
Love it. Podcast date. And with that being said, we're going to be talking about love today.
Yeah.
Because that is all you need. Ain't that right, Trine?
Yeah.
All you need is love?
The Beatles.
Yeah. So, fun fact, Trine and I, we actually got it, is it called getting announced, right?
Yeah.
At the end. So, Trine and I got announced during our wedding ceremony to All You Need Is Love by the Beatles.
Yeah.
Well, we kind of got announced because we got a little excited. Yeah.
We ran away.
Yeah, we kind of ran away.
Before he could say, I give you Mr. and Mrs. Aldrich, we ran away.
I now pronounce you mean?
Yeah, some people say I give you.
Oh, really?
For the first time ever.
I think it's I pronounce for the first time.
I now pronounce you. Oh, yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
that sounds good.
I
Some people say I give you, I think. Maybe.
I don't know. We'll have to look that up later. But yeah, basically, like, we got excited. It was the end of the ceremony. And I had it in my head. I was going to do a cool little heel click after it. And so I was kind of focusing on the heel click part of it. And like, as soon as we heard the music, we were like, oh, here's our cue.
I know. As soon as we heard the music, we were like, all right, run.
Yeah.
No. Anyways.
Yeah, it was like time to go. So then I did my heel click. It was super cool. But then he kind of came in after. He was like, oh, I now pronounce you. But we were already like almost
we were
down.
gone.
Yeah, we were gone. Oops. But you know what? It's all in good fun. So today we are going to be talking about love, and most importantly, or more specifically, we're going to be talking about love languages.
Yeah, love languages. What are they? I don't know. Listen further to find out.
Yeah. And I assume a lot of you all listening in, majority of you all probably know what love languages are, or you've heard about this before. But today what we did, Trine and I, we went back through and took the quiz again because it's been a while since we've taken it. So we took the quiz again. And then today on the podcast, we're actually going to guess in what order our love languages are. And we're going to see how well we truly know each other on the podcast. So stay tuned to see kind of how that goes down.
Yeah, I'm a little nervous.
Yeah, no, me too. Because, I don't know. We'll see how it goes because I think I have a good grasp of your love languages, but maybe I don't. I don't know.
Yeah, same. Or maybe we don't know each other at all. I don't know.
Maybe we don't, but it's going to get revealed here on the podcast, so we'll see.
It is indeed.
Yeah. Well, so what are love languages? So basically, love languages, they kind of help you. Oh, am I jumping in too early right now?
Yeah, we have to do our
Oh
moment
my
of joy.
gosh. Sorry, y'all. I'm rusty right now because
Dang, we haven't
we're a little
recorded
bit
a podcast
later.
in a while.
Yeah, and so I totally forgot. But we got to do a segment before we even get into any of that, right?
Yeah.
Okay, what's that about?
We have to say our small moment of joy for the week so
Mm,
that we embody gratitude.
yep, because
Yeah.
we're the pursuit of now, and I forgot.
Yeah, you did, but it's okay. I caught you. I was like giving him a little knee nudge.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, whoa there, buddy.
Like, oh, hold up, hold up.
So, do you want to start with your moment of joy? Or
Yeah, I can start.
All right, go
I
ahead.
got it. Got it in the dome today.
Go
Usually
ahead.
I procrastinate the moment of joy because I don't think about it ahead of time, but I got this in the
Which
bag.
is not the point of the moment of joy.
Right, it's supposed to be off the cuff. But there's so much to be grateful for in the world out there, ladies and gentlemen. So, first thing I'm grateful for that's brought me a moment of joy. The Chiefs are Super Bowl champions. Come on. Come on. That's an easy one though. That's a toss up. So we went and hung out with some friends to watch the Super Bowl. Had a good time with them, and of course the Chiefs got that win. So Treen gets a day off of work for the parade. So that's nice. Yeah,
Yeah.
got to be grateful for that.
Way to steal my moment of joy.
Yeah, and also I have a second moment of joy.
Okay.
Yep, I'm just going to go ahead and throw a second one in there. So if you all had the chance to, if you haven't yet, you need to go check out episode number 10, big episode 10. And we talked about being more mindful and more in the moment.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that episode was wonderful because it kind of like, what would you call it? It kind of just reinforced some things that maybe we need to do in our own lives and
Like
we need to work on and practice.
Ignited a fire in us.
Yeah, a fire in us. Yeah, I like that. So, and I just think we've been doing a really good job of being more mindful lately, and that's brought me a lot of joy.
You think so?
And yeah, like,
That's
you
good.
know, the other day, for example, like you completely turned off your phone like the other day too.
Oh, yeah.
And we just spent a lot of good quality time together. And a couple weekends ago, it was awesome. Literally right after we did the podcast for that, we went on some walks, which was great. And we like went and sat in these hammocks at our apartment complex. And it was just a beautiful day outside. And it was literally, the weather was just perfect.
Oh, yeah.
And we just kind of laid in the hammocks, and I was just looking up, and I was like, like, this is just the best day. Like, this is so awesome right now. And I think just, you know, doing that episode and really like diving into some of those things that we were talking about just kind of like, you know, reminded me to be more mindful in those kinds of moments.
Yeah, for sure. I think that it was really nice, like the Sunday. So that was the Sunday after we recorded that podcast. And like we got up and I was immediately feeling anxious because Sunday scaries.
Mm-hmm.
And you said something in that, like you do, is like you say, oh, I have, so if it's like noon and I want to go to bed at like, let's say like 10, I'm like, oh, I have 10 hours left of my day. And it kind of shifts your perspective. And I thought that was crazy. Like for real, I was like, no, that would give me more anxiety. Like that's dumb.
Mm-hmm.
But then I started doing it and I was like, whoa, this actually works.
Yeah. It's like, wow, I have all this time.
So like yeah. So like normally if it's noon, I'm like, well, I didn't seize the morning. That means I didn't seize the day, you know?
Yeah.
But I'm like, wait, it's only noon. I have this many hours left. So that actually has really been helping me. Helped me on Super Bowl Sunday.
Boom.
For sure.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember because we were like in the car and you were like, oh, you know, we have 7 more hours or we have like 9 more hours or whatever the case was. And yeah, I think that also just helps like be in the moment too. Just remind yourself, hey, we're here right now. This is the pursuit of right now.
Yeah. And I think it can sound like that doesn't make sense, that would help like you be in the moment because you're like counting down.
Yeah.
But it really, I would say it helps if you have the mindset of like feeling like you have no time left in your day. And I really struggle with the idea of wasting time. I'm like, well, I wasted all this time and then I just stress out.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it might work for you.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Give it a go.
Give it a go.
Yeah. What is your
Pass
moments
go
of joy?
and collect $200. My moment of joy is that I don't have school tomorrow. That's always my moment. That's always my moment of joy.
Mm-hmm.
No, but really, I'm happy that the Chiefs won. That's pretty cool, being from Kansas City.
Yeah.
And it makes me feel a lot of pride in Kansas City. And also, my other moment of joy is that you surprised me with some shoes last night.
Yeah. So I didn't even wait till Valentine's Day. I was like, night before Valentine's Day, I'm just going to spring it on you.
I know. That was just really cool because I was not expecting it at all.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like so excited.
Mm-hmm.
And like I woke up this morning. So he got me some Nike Blazers. And I've been wanting those for the gym. I woke up this morning and I was like, oh man, I don't want to go to the gym. I don't want to get up. And then I was like, I got to put my shoes on.
You gotta get
like
Nike Blazers
It literally
on.
got me out of bed this morning. I'm not kidding.
Good.
So that's
awesome.
good. But no, that was just like, that was a sweet like gesture. That was a surprise. I love surprises.
Yeah.
Some people don't like surprises.
You know what? That might be an indicator to one of your love languages.
Dun, dun, dun,
Maybe you're a gifts gal.
Maybe.
Maybe we'll find out.
Maybe we will. Maybe we won't.
Yeah, we will see. But yeah, love that. And it was a lot of fun springing that on you out of nowhere. I couldn't even wait till Valentine's Day. So
I know,
we were just
so
laying in
cute.
bed, and then I went and grabbed them because they were under the bed. And I was like rolled over to put my arm over, and it was like, bam, new shoes.
I was so caught off guard.
Yeah.
Like we were about to go to sleep.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, what is this? And I was like, I was just shocked. It was nice. It was kind.
Yeah.
You are a nice husband.
Thank you. I try.
You're welcome.
And so, without further ado, let's dive right in.
I think we kind of harmonized a little bit.
Yeah, it sounded good.
Because I was like, dive right in. You're like, dive right in.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Just kidding. It did not go like that, but.
Yeah. I'm a tenor.
Yeah, and I'm a winner, baby.
Yeah, let's go.
All right. So
love languages. What are love languages? Basically, if you're caught up in, should I buy you flowers? Should I hold your hand?
Talk to you for hours?
When I have the chance?
Yeah.
So, which one is it? If you're caught up in one of those?
Are you Bruno Mars or are you Miley Cyrus?
Yeah, exactly.
Miley Cyrus all the way.
Yeah. Yep. Then figuring out love languages is going to help you because there are how many of them, Tree?
5.
Okay. Do you want to tell me a little bit about them?
There's 5 of them, and they're about how you talk about love.
Yeah.
Just kidding. It's about how you receive love.
Yeah. Yeah, because a lot of times, when we enter into a relationship, we tend to give love how we prefer to receive love.
Oh.
Right? So like, for example, hypothetically, because you don't know this yet, Trine, but if if I like to receive love through physical touch, then I'm more prone to give love through physical touch. But what if my partner isn't about that physical touch thing,
Yeah, it could be like a huge misconception because your partner could be feeling left unloved, but really you think you're giving her all the love in the world because in your experience, if someone shows you love with physical touch, then you feel super loved.
Yeah, exactly. And you're over here thinking you're meeting some needs.
But the needs aren't being met, buddy.
Yeah,
You need to reevaluate. Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, for sure.
So that's why it's good to take this test. It is there's a whole book on this. And so we wanted to give a shout out there. It's written by Gary Chapman, and they discuss the 5 love languages in more depth. We didn't read the book, but we just did a little bit of research and we took the test ourselves. But this is something that we've kind of known about for a while, and it's going to be kind of interesting retaking the test and seeing if maybe some things have changed from what we thought we knew. But if you want to dive right in, we're going to talk about each one of the 4 and a little bit about what they are. So do you want to kick off with the first one, Trine?
Yeah. And I also want to say that I think we should read the book. I don't know when, but then we should like revisit this topic, and then we can talk about like things that we thought we knew, or like more things that we learned through reading it.
That'd be a great idea.
I know. Just a little, we could do like a little V-Day anniversary. You know?
Okay. We got another book to get through first.
Yeah, we do. We got a lot of books to get through.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, we do. Okay. Okay. So the first love language is, drum roll. Well, you already said it, so it's kind of physical touch. Yay.
Physical touch. This is in no particular order, but let's talk about physical touch first.
Okay.
It is a lot about exactly how it sounds.
Touching physically.
Yeah, touching physically.
Yeah.
So that could be like holding hands in public, or cuddling on the couch, or putting your arm around me, whatever the case is.
Putting your feet together in bed. Does anyone else do that?
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
Like you got to be touching. So you just like, put your little pinky toe over there.
Yeah, that's kind of how we roll. Yeah, like you stay on your side over there, I'll stay on my side. However, something like our feet have to be touching or something.
Yeah, there you go.
In the bed. But yeah, physical touch. Is that how you like to receive love? Is through touch? Is that what makes you feel the most loved? You're going to have to take the quiz, obviously, to figure that out.
Or you just kind of know yourself, too.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
There's,
because I personally may or may not be a big physical touch type of person.
I don't know. You'll have to keep listening to the podcast and find out. Who knows? He's only hinted at it 12 times.
Yeah. Well, you never know. Okay. And number 2 is
quality time.
Quality time.
What is the essence of quality time?
That is just uninterrupted, just time with your partner. Whether that be, doing some of the mindful stuff that we were talking about, going on walks together, shutting your phone off, spending time together, just anything where you're really just getting that quality time uninterrupted with your partner.
Yeah. And I think undivided attention is a big deal when it comes to this love language. And, when I think about this one, I think about connection. I mean, physical touch, that's connecting too, but I really think about like emotional connection with this one.
With the quality time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. And really have an engaging conversation too.
Yeah.
And really active listening, which is something I know I can always work on, is active listening. Because I know that can be a struggle sometimes. But making good eye contact when you're having conversation, really taking in and engaging with your partner, everything that's going on, and being genuinely interested in what they have going on in their day. Which one to, and I think it's interesting too, and I think as you've been together longer, like we've been together 5 years now, I would love to work on more quality time, because it can kind of get into something where like both of us, we kind of know our routine of the work day and stuff. And then, I kind of tell you about my work day, you tell me about your work day, and that's kind of like how it goes. But
and then we're like so tired. We just want to like watch TV.
Yeah, exactly.
Or be on our phones and just like veg out.
Yep, 100%. So I think being more intentional with like having the quality time and actually engaging and having those more meaningful conversations, I think could be great. But that's what we do with the podcast too. And also we started our little team meeting. You remember when we started doing that?
We haven't started that consistently, don't lie. Liar.
Not consistently, but we did it like twice.
We've done this like 2 times.
Yeah.
But go ahead.
But it's kind of cool.
I would like to do it more.
Yeah. It's just a nice way, I think, that you can spend like actual quality time and like have a good engaging conversation with your partner, is have a team meeting.
Do you remember what that all stands for?
I'm going to have to think through it. Oh man. Do you have it somewhere?
No. Look it up.
I don't know if I can find it.
All right,
real quick.
Chase is going to look it up real quick. And while he's doing that, I would love to touch on the point that quality time, I think another important aspect of it is doing something new with your partner, like engaging in new experiences.
Mm-hmm.
So that way, I think new experiences make you really present and curious. And I think that can be a really good way to spend quality time with your partner rather than like doing the same old. So I don't know, just a little thought I had.
Mm-hmm.
Did you find it?
No, I didn't, and that's gonna really annoy me.
Okay. Well, what I remember from it is you say something you learned, right?
Yep. But I'm trying to remember what the actual acronyms like were to team. But I know basically the essence of it was we sat together, we put our phones away, and we had to hold hands.
Oh, yes.
Yep. So we held hands. And then we talked about something we each learned that day. And so we walked through that, but I don't remember. Maybe it was like
Anything else?
teaching or anything. I don't know if that's what the T was. But then after
I
that.
don't think it's teaching.
No?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. Anyways. But we talked through that. And then we talked through, I know the M was metrics. And that was more along the lines of like, it's like was like a calm way of bringing to light maybe something that you like your partner to do or something along those lines, like whether it's like taking out the trash. It's kind of like a nice like just an opening to sort of
have those conversations,
have that conversation,
like what do I need from you right now?
Yep.
In a way.
Yep. Absolutely. So that's what that was. The A was appreciation. So you're supposed to talk to your partner obviously about, something that you each appreciate about each other and like a genuine appreciation. And then I can't remember what the other one was. But anyways, that was a total botch job of the thing. But in the moment right now, it's just like not really completely firing, being put on the spot about it.
Yeah.
But I put myself on the spot about it. But it was something that we did for a couple of times I thought was really cool. And maybe we can look it up and then bring it back to the podcast and make sure that we are more prepared next time.
Yeah, I think that we should have a team meeting about that so we can bring that back to the podcast.
Yeah, we'll bring it back.
But yeah, I mean that basically it's like making time to have an intentional conversations with your partner. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's literally what it is. Yep. So,
and that's quality time for you.
And that's quality time.
What's the next one?
The next one is acts of service.
Acts of service.
What does this one mean to you, Chase?
It's like whenever you do things for me.
Okay.
Love that.
There you have it.
Yeah. Some practical acts of service that you can do. Maybe we can come up with a few off the top of our head, but it would be like, it doesn't necessarily have to be like chores or anything. Like it can be, but it can also just be like, you're at the store and, I'm craving like a cherry Coke or something. And you're like, oh, I remember that he might want a cherry Coke. So then I pick it up at the store for me, something along those lines.
That I'm gonna argue that is not acts of service. That's gifts. So? That's gifts. Picking something tangible up and bringing it home for your partner is gifts.
But what if I wanted a cherry Coke, but I didn't want to go get one?
Okay.
Then it's an act of service.
That's true.
I was trying to come up with something unique, because like your normal one's like doing the dishes or something or cooking for your partner if maybe they don't feel like cooking or something like that. But I want to try to come up with something that was a little bit different.
Yeah, I mean, you have a solid argument. It could be both.
Could be.
It could be both. One that you've done for me that I remember it meant like a lot to me that wasn't necessarily like a physical task. Well, it was more of a mental task that you helped me out with. Mm-hmm. And that was calling the doctor's office to pay my bill.
Yeah.
to pay my copay because I'm like driving and like working during business hours. And I could not for the life of me remember to call this doctor's office and pay this like $25 bill.
Mm-hmm.
And you did that for me.
Yeah,
And
I
I
did.
was really stressed about that, even though it was such a simple thing to do. Like I would always forget about it.
Yep.
In the times that I could do it. And then I would remember at 5:05 every day, and it was really stressing me out.
Yep.
So you did that for me. That was act of service, and I was really grateful.
I got you. Right here.
Thanks.
Boom. Yep. So that's a good example
Yeah.
of acts of service.
Acts of service.
Mm-hmm.
So the next one is words of affirmation.
Aw.
And this is basically using words to affirm your partner.
Yeah.
And I feel like this
I
could
think you
be...
look really cute today.
Thanks. That's kind of commenting on my physical appearance. And then there's like, you could affirm their efforts in the relationship, you know,
Mhm.
like how much they mean to you or how much you appreciate them. But then my favorite words of affirmation are things that you see your partner doing that's like kind of like outside of your relationship, but like most people don't get a lot of feedback on that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense? Like when you notice that I'm going to the gym, like, and you give me words of affirmation, like that you're proud of me, that's like the best. Or like you see if I'm like working hard at work and I've been like stressed out and you like say something encouraging or like notice that I've been doing a good job. I feel like that's even better for me. I don't know if that's a good or bad, but that feedback is even better than like interpersonal feedback sometimes.
Yeah.
I think because I don't hear it as often, maybe because like feedback through words within a relationship is also important.
Yeah.
But you do a really good job of giving me that. So when it's like words of affirmation that I don't hear as often in like other aspects of my life, it feels really good to hear that. I don't know.
Yeah. And it's also like a little bit more not necessarily like genuine, but it's, you know, like, because when you just say the same stuff all the time, you're like, oh, I love your hair, or I love your
you.
Yeah, you know, you just kind of hear that all the time, so it doesn't really
Glad you hear that all the time.
But you know, it doesn't
Blue
hold as
eyes.
much weight to where it's like, you know, if you're like, oh, you just, you know, did your hip thrust for 195, like, I'm so proud of you for doing that. Like, that's an awesome accomplishment. You're getting so strong.
Mm-hmm. I think behavior specific feedback is nice.
Yeah.
Specific. It's all
It's
about.
gotta be specific.
Yeah, it's all about how specific it is.
Yeah.
And I feel like even outside of like, you know, what do you call this? Like romantic. Thank you. I can't even think of that word.
Mm-hmm.
I think even outside of like romantic relationships, I think words of affirmation can show up in like other relationships in your life.
Yeah.
Like friendships or people at work or family. I think the more specific it is, to me, the more meaningful it is.
Yeah.
Like you can say, oh, you're like always a good friend to me. I love you. I appreciate you. Or you could say, hey, you know, last week I really appreciated when you called when I answered. You don't know how much I needed that. And you talked to me for a whole hour. And I know you have things going on in your life too. You know?
Yeah.
Like when you get really specific with that, it means it's so special.
Yeah, it is. I agree.
Yeah.
That's some good stuff.
Yeah. Good stuff. Good
So
stuff.
be specific, measurable, attainable,
Here we go.
relatable.
Smart goals.
Yeah.
No, but do you agree?
I do agree.
Like if you give specific feedback on like just one thing that you did to show like a bigger picture of who you are and how you show up in that relationship, it's just, it means more because it's like backed with evidence.
Yeah, it is.
Like, and this is what you did to show me you're a good friend.
Yeah.
You know, this
I
is
like
what
that.
you did to show me you're a good partner.
Mm-hmm.
You thought to surprise me, even though this is like our 6th Valentine's Day together, you know?
Yeah.
There you
Exactly.
go. Behavior specific feedback right there.
I love that.
Chef's kiss.
Yeah. And it's always good too. One thing I like that I know some of our friends have done too is whenever we were done hanging out with them, we were driving back and then they like shoot you a text message They're like, oh, hey, you know, it's great hanging out with you.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that kind of thing. I love that.
I love that too. It always makes you feel like, oh, they had a good time too. Like they appreciate, you know,
Yeah.
like they weren't totally bored and like hated hanging out with us. So that's good.
Exactly. I know. Like I just, you know, a small finishing touch on, you know, spending some quality time with some people. But
yeah. And it's like I mean, it really is like affirming your relationship with those people.
yeah.
Like they value our relationship just as much as I do.
Yep.
You know?
Words of affirmation in friendships too.
Yeah.
Boom.
Boom.
Who would have thunk it?
Yeah. All right. Let's go to the very, very last love language.
And what would that be?
Gifts.
Gifts.
You materialistic. I'm just kidding.
Yeah. No,
this is actually not materialistic.
It's not materialistic.
No. There's more to it.
Yeah, there is. What gifts really is it's more along the lines of like you thinking of something meaningful and then like getting that for your partner. So it's not necessarily just like, you know, going and buying you shoes, but it's more so like thinking through like, you know, something that's more like of a symbol of your love or like something along those lines. So it's not necessarily just getting you material things.
Yeah, I think if you know the saying, it's the thought that counts. That's literally what it is.
Yeah, it could cost next to nothing.
Yeah, it could be
meaningful.
a cherry Coke or whatever you said earlier.
Yeah, I've been craving cherry Coke a lot lately.
I think you have been.
I don't know why. My favorite is like cherry Coke, like in a can.
Ooh.
Love it.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think the main idea of this one is like showing your partner that you thought of them, like even throughout like our busy lives, like in the middle of the day you were like, oh, that will make my partner smile, so I'm gonna like get that for them.
Exactly.
Or for me, it was like you wanted, we're going back to the shoes thing, okay? It's like you wanted to do something that you knew I love surprises, and you knew like I would be surprised and like really happy to have that.
Yeah.
And so you wanted to do that even though we normally don't really get each other gifts on Valentine's Day anyways. I mean, you usually do.
Yeah.
We just get each other small gifts, I guess, is what I mean.
Usually not a big gift.
Yeah, like chocolate,
yeah,
a card, like something nice, but not usually like a nice pair of shoes. Like that was a lot. So
yeah.
If you can't tell, I'm really excited about my shoes. I keep talking about them. But it kind of just like fits right in with Valentine's Day and the love languages. So, I mean, you can't really not talk about it.
Yep. And gifts is probably your number one, huh?
Also, I'm trying to like positively reinforce that. Like I'll take a pair of sneakers. I want to get a whole collection going. I want to have them all displayed all nice.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, shoes are also easy too. That's why I like buying them for you.
Keep it coming, honey.
You know?
I love that.
Because I know you're going to love them. And for me, like, you know, it's pretty simple. Like I, you know, can go up and pick out a nice pair of shoes and that I feel like you'll like. And boom, there you go.
Boom.
Everyone wins.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Are you ready to guess?
Let's dive right into guessing. Yeah, I'm excited to do this because I don't know if you even know. I don't know if you know me. I don't know if you know me.
I'm kind of nervous. Can you guess mine first, please?
Yeah, I can probably do that.
Okay. Do you want to guess them like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5?
Or do you want to go, I guess one of yours, you guess one of mine. Boom, boom, boom.
Okay, yeah, let's do that. Okay, well, we will start with the first one then.
Number 1. You want me to guess first?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll guess first.
Wait, should we say yes or no? Because then that would kind of like eliminate the other ones. Eliminate it though.
Oh, true. Yeah. Let's do this. I'm just going to guess what I think yours would be in order.
Okay.
And then
I guess what yours would be in order.
Yeah.
Okay, because I don't want it to be like, well, we get down to 4 and obviously, you know, or
you're
3.
You're going to know what it is.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, go ahead.
Okay. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
I'll go first. I'm going to say number 1 for you. Mm-hmm. I'm so nervous right now. Mm-hmm. Quality time. Is number 1 for Trine is quality time.
What's number 2?
Number 2 for you. I feel like is acts of service.
What's number 3?
Number 3, I think, is going to be physical touch.
What's number 4?
Number 4 is going to be hold on. Okay, hold on here. I think number 4 is touch. I think number 3 is words of affirmation.
Okay.
And then I think your last one is gifts.
You got it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Did I really?
Yeah.
What?
You literally got it. I'm glad that you switched words of affirmation
No way.
with touch, though. Yeah.
I got all of them 100%
Yeah.
correct?
Yeah. So my
Man,
quality
I know
time.
my wife.
I know. Now I'm really nervous. My percentages were quality time 32%, acts of service 29. So that's pretty high up there with quality time. Words of affirmation was 26%. And then touch and gifts were actually tied for 6%.
Wow.
Don't touch me.
Mm.
But it's crazy because like I'm a huge, like I love giving people hugs. Like it.
Yeah, you're a big
I
hugger.
feel really connected to people when I hug them. I'm like, I want to show you that I care about you, so I'm gonna hug you.
Mm-hmm.
Just like, I just hug people all the time.
Yeah, you do.
So I don't know, but
Big time
anyways,
hugger. Ah, nailed it.
yeah,
I can't
you
believe
got
it.
You got
Can't
it.
believe I got them all right. That's crazy.
I know. Good job, husband.
Yep.
All
I
right,
know
now
you
I'm
so,
terrified.
so well. The pressure is on right now.
Wait, what if I totally butcher it? Am I a bad wife?
I don't think you're a bad wife.
Be honest.
Well, I think this one, since me retaking it, might surprise you.
Okay.
Because I don't think yours changed very much.
I think acts of service got higher. I think words of affirmation were my second one last time
Really?
when I took it like 3 years ago.
I was about to switch those again because that's kind of what I was thinking.
Yeah.
But I was like, I don't know.
I mean, they're really close, like percentage wise, but acts of service, I think. Yeah. I've been really into that lately.
Really into the acts of service lately.
Super into that. Love that.
I mean, who doesn't love them?
I mean, who doesn't?
Yeah.
Okay. So, I'm going to guess yours. Number 1 for you is physical touch.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. Number 2 is quality time.
Okay.
Oh gosh, I feel like I got it wrong already. Okay, number 3 is gonna be, do you like words or service? I feel like you're gonna have to go with words. So I have physical touch, quality time, words of affirmation, acts of service, gifts. Oh no, I totally butchered it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, what is
How
it?
do you think you did?
I think I got them wrong, probably.
-3.
What?
Yeah,
I'm a bad
-3.
What,
No,
what
this
are
is
they?
crazy because, like, I'm telling you, if you've taken the test before and you know what it is, like, you should retake it because this really surprised me when I retook it.
Okay.
Because a bunch of mine changed.
Okay.
Super weird.
Go ahead.
Number 1 is not touch anymore.
What?
Yeah.
What's your number 1?
So number 1 for me, like almost every time I've done this test or whatever in the past, has always been physical touch. That's always been my number 1, but for some reason it ain't my number 1 anymore.
So what's your number?
My number 1 right now is acts of service. Can you believe that?
Are you serious?
I'm dead serious.
That's wild.
I've been big into the acts of service, I feel like, lately.
What?
Yeah.
Okay, what's your number 2?
Quality time.
Physical touch is not number 1 or 2?
No.
Okay.
Is this not the most wild thing ever?
Do you feel like that's true? Like, do you feel that way?
I really do feel that way, yeah.
Whoa, guys, this is like a marriage
Yeah, this is
counseling
big.
session.
Yeah, this is big.
Like, ooh, I need to reevaluate.
And then touch is number 3.
Okay.
And then words of affirmation were 4. And then gifts was actually 0%. 0% gifts.
Oh, good thing I didn't really get you a Valentine's Day gift then, huh?
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
I don't know, because I do like gifts, so I feel like, but.
Okay,
know.
here's my hot take.
Uh-huh.
Do you low-key feel selfish if you answer yes to some of the gift questions? So do you think that there's a bias?
Yeah, that is the thing about the test too that can be tricky, because especially when you know what the love languages are, you can kind of
know.
You can kind of pick which one might be more relevant to the other.
There's definitely, I can't remember what that's called from research, but not implicit bias. It's anyway, it's all
like cognitive bias or
no.
I don't know what it's called.
I don't remember what it's called, but it's like when it can't be like completely accurate.
Yeah.
Oh, that's going to bug me. I'm going to have to look that up. But anyways, there's definitely, I mean, with any self-reporting like test like that, there's going to be room for a lot of error.
Yeah.
So I think like at the end of the day, it's like whatever you feel like that is going to be the strongest, because you know yourself.
Yeah.
You know?
And also, like, I feel like a lot of the gift questions, like, just lined up with other things that I would, it just, it's like you're not going to choose gifts over that. It's like, would you rather receive a gift or go hang out with your partner and spend quality time? It's like,
yeah.
I mean, I'd probably,
rather hang out with me.
Yeah.
Or do you want a gift?
Yeah.
Or just want
can both be an option? Because that would.
And
be
by
nice.
the way, guys, I'm not a terrible wife. I bought him some dessert. I'm gonna make him tonight.
Yeah,
So.
you did. I'm so excited for that. But yeah, I know that. I thought that was just super crazy.
That is wild.
Mine have literally changed that much. Like, yeah, that's pretty insane.
So yeah, what kind of acts of service do you like?
I don't know. I just like cooking. Like, I love whenever you cook and you bring me a plate. Love that. Mm-hmm. That's probably my favorite. Or, I don't know. I feel like you do a lot of acts of service.
I feel like that's like the number one way I show love.
Yeah.
Maybe. Or if you think differently, let me know.
No, I think so. I mean, I think you do like quite a bit of acts of service, but also I feel like, for me, words of affirmation should have been higher as well.
That's what I thought.
I really like words of affirmation too.
Yeah, I put that one for 3 for you, but it was your 4th.
Mm-hmm. Interesting.
Honestly, I like all the love languages. Can I get all of them?
Yeah, is there an all of the above option?
Yeah.
But yeah, one of the like critics to the love languages thing was basically along the lines of, it can kind of put you in a box in terms of like how you show or give love. Like, because if your partner's is, acts of service, then you just try to pander to that love language because that's what your partner's love language is. And can kind of like hamper creativity and things like that you might want to come up with your own different idea to give to your partner to show your love but that it's acts of service. So it's like, well, I need to do something along the lines of acts of service or more of that rather than what I was doing to show love. So that is one of the criticisms behind it, kind of, limit being more unique and creative with how you show love to your partner, because you feel like you got to pander to their love language.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
I also had a thought in my head. I was wondering, do you think that if your partner like shows love through one specific love language all the time, do you think that your love language could change because you start to not appreciate that specific love language as much because you get it all the time, which then makes like the other love languages more valuable?
That's a good point.
You know what I mean? So like
the law of familiarity.
Yeah. So like, for example, like you are constantly like physical touch is like a big thing that you give. which is and not a bad thing, and I love it. But I don't know. Like, do you think that
Maybe you're
now
like
I'm
you're
like
used to
super
that.
used to it,
Mm-hmm.
and so something that's why I think that gifts don't happen as often
Mm-hmm.
in most relationships because you're not going to like constantly buy something, but like you can tell your partner how much you love them and how proud of them you are. Like you could do that all the time. I feel like we do all of these, but I feel like sometimes gifts are more special because they don't happen as often,
Right.
you know?
Yeah.
Like you don't
You're
surprise
not
me
just
with
showing up every day
the pair
with
of shoes all the
gifts.
time.
Yeah.
You know, I'm really excited about the shoes.
I know.
But
Loving the
you
shoes.
know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I wonder if like also like based on the season of life you're in, like if
Mm-hmm.
you're really busy, does quality time become a lot higher
Yeah.
because you don't have it as
Yeah.
much? You know what I
That's
mean?
a good point. Or just through seasons of like your relationship, you know?
Mhm.
Like as you are further and further down the line, maybe physical touch isn't as important to you anymore as other things, as acts of service or this or that. So it's just things can always be changing.
Yeah. Always be
Ain't that wild?
changing. Very wild.
Mm-hmm.
So another question I wanted to ask. Um, I mean, we've kind of already talked about this, but I feel like we could talk about it more. But do you think people give like naturally? Think about this naturally. Like if you don't even know your partner's love language, do you think people give and receive love the same way? So like for
Mm-hmm.
example, if my love language is quality time, do you think like the main way I'm trying to give love to others is through spending quality time with them? Like
Mm-hmm.
naturally?
Yeah. Yeah. I think, and I did read that somewhere, like, I think we do typically give love how we prefer to receive love, which I think is interesting. It all kind of stems back to obviously how you were raised
Mm.
and being a kid and how were you given love as a kid, you know, were your parents very like, you know, gave you lots of hugs and cuddles and this and that
Mm-hmm.
and the other. Then maybe when you grew up, physical touch, just, you know, that's how you received love. That's how
Mm-hmm.
you learned to receive love. So that's how you prefer to receive love as an adult.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas, you know, if, you know, your parents were maybe not big on like the physical touch, but they were always, you know, just affirming you and telling you how great you were and this, that, and the other, then maybe that's how, you know, so it all kind of stems back from
Yeah.
just
Or
like everything else.
yeah. 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 Or could it be the opposite? And
Mm,
your parents never hugged you. And so now you are
like you
like
crave it,
craving it. Yeah.
like you crave that physical touch.
Yeah. Because you never got it as a child.
Wow.
Who knows?
That could be, yeah.
I don't really want to think
There's
too
some
deep
deep
into that.
psychological things in that.
Yeah. I know. I know.
But it's
But
crazy. It all kind of goes back to, you know, how you're raised and growing up one way or the other. How
yeah,
you were
I think
given
that
affection.
definitely plays a role in it. There's always like the nature versus nurture argument in anything.
True.
I think that most things it's a little bit of both.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's a really interesting thought. That was my other question actually. So
What was it?
wait, hold up. Actually, I didn't write it down, but I thought it.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. My other question was why, which again, we've already kind of talked about this naturally, but why is it important to know and understand your partner's love language?
Yeah. I think it can just benefit because all, I wouldn't say all, but a lot of relationship problems, I think personally, and I'm not an expert on this, probably stem from like your needs not being met in
Yeah.
one way or another. Like
Yeah.
it kind of all goes back to the deep root of some need not being met. And so what I think the love languages kind of help with is just like understanding like what are your partner's needs and like how can I like best work to help meet those needs, because that's ultimately what's going to lead to them being fulfilled in your relationship and you being fulfilled, because, you know, a relationship it's not putting in 50-50, you know, it's 100%, right?
Cheese.
That was super cheese.
Yeah.
But if you're going 100% in on meeting your partner's needs,
here's the thing. If you are meeting your partner's needs, they're going to want to meet your needs. If their needs are not being met, they're going to be like, to heck with your needs. My needs aren't being met. And now I'm focusing on the fact that my needs aren't being met. And so it's kind of like this vicious cycle.
Yep.
That's how I feel about it anyway.
Yep.
And I feel like people can become like resentful, even like if your needs like over a long period of time aren't being met, but then you're trying to bend over backwards to meet the other partner's needs.
Yeah.
So that's why I think it's really important to understand your partner's love language and their needs, preferences, in order to avoid that.
Yeah. I think so too.
So I'm really glad that I now know your love language.
Yes. But yeah, because when I went to a Tony Robbins seminar one time, and he talked a lot about like sort of the same type of thing, like meeting your partner's needs. And one thing that he was discussing was like, if you're thinking about ending things with your partner or things are really bad, one thing to do is just to literally just go all in for 30 days. Just like all in, give it 100%. Like, you know, what your partner's needs are, just do everything you can to try to fulfill their needs, and then see where your relationship stands in, you know, 30, 60, 90 days. And then if it's still not, you know, working, then, you know, maybe it might be time to reassess or whatever the case is, but go all in for that certain period of time and just see how that goes. Because typically if you're going all in and you're making a bunch of effort to meet their needs, like you said, maybe they're more likely to then try to meet yours or, you know, that kind of thing. So just thought about that.
Yeah. I love that. I think there's a lot of truth to it.
Yeah.
So any more relationship advice we got?
Yeah. We don't know what we're talking about at the end of the day. You know,
I think we do. We've been together 5 years. I know that's not as long as, whatever, but we're young. We got together when I was 19. And I think we've both grown a lot. And I think we have a really healthy relationship where we freely communicate, and we allow each other to communicate their needs without feeling like getting defensive. I think that's like, honestly, when you were talking about like, I think one of the biggest things is like, you know, people's needs not being met in like relationships and why they end. I think one of the biggest things is when that issue is brought up, people tend to get stubborn.
Yeah.
And they don't want to give in. They don't want to be vulnerable and admit, yeah, I have some things I need to work on, or yeah, you were probably right in this instance, or yeah, that is a pattern of mine.
Yeah.
Because that's a really vulnerable thing to do, to admit something that you need to work on that's like deep, you know?
Yep.
It's hard to be vulnerable, and I think people get really stubborn, and they're trying to like protect themselves and protect like the image that they have of themselves inside of their head, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because if you tell me, this is totally made up, but if you tell me that I never, I don't know, like listen to your side of the story, or let's say like you never have empathy for me, which is crazy.
Yeah. Well, you don't, so.
Like if I were to never like really truly be open to that self-reflection, if you're not open to self-reflection, you have to be in a relationship. I think you have to be willing to self-reflect, see the other perspective, and realize that there's probably some truth to that, because there's probably something that you're not realizing that's coming off a certain way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I think it's hard to self-reflect and like admit where your faults are in a relationship.
Yeah, but you have to, or good luck. That's how I feel about it.
Because,
anyway.
you know, you can be defensive about it. which is one of the 4 horsemen. If you haven't listened to that
No
podcast, you definitely should.
offensiveness.
But also just like, throwing it back in a way, like you give me that feedback and then I'm like, okay, well, you don't meet this need, or, you never do this for me. So why would I do that for you?
Yeah.
And that kind of thing. So that's why it's important to, I think, to have that discussion and just go all in, understand, what your partner's, love languages or needs are, and then just go all in on trying to meet them.
Yeah. And then also realize that, like, nobody is perfect. Nobody's perfect in a relationship. No relationship is perfect. But I think if you're willing to continue to grow with your partner, I feel like that's the key. Like when you're not willing to grow anymore, that's when it's like hard, I feel like.
Yeah. Like when you stop wanting to work to keep, rekindling the flame or keep the flame going,
Yeah. And also I just think that if you don't, I'd actually forgot what I was saying.
You forgot?
Yeah, I don't usually do that on the podcast, but I totally just blanked.
You just blanked?
I just blanked, like a blank space, and I'll write your name, Taylor Swift. Okay. I feel like we're on a soapbox now.
Yeah, we are. But, good discussion.
It is Valentine's Day.
It's Valentine's Day. So we are going to actually hop off here and make some dinner. And Trine is going to whip up some brownies tonight. So super excited for that.
Yeah, we're going to stay up all night because I just had coffee.
Oh, yeah. She just had espresso. Yeah. Yeah, so we got to wrap this thing up. But anyways, if you made it this far.
Espresso.
No. Team White Mocha, you already know it's Team White Mocha Latte time. And if you've been hanging around here this whole time, we appreciate y'all being around. We love you guys so much. And if you haven't yet, please give the podcast a rating. If you would, that just helps us grow. And of course, check us out on all social media platforms, that just being basically Instagram and TikTok. So you can check out our clips and follow us for updates.
And YouTube.
Yeah, and we're on YouTube too. So,
but also we need to. What's going to be our weekly challenge?
Weekly challenge. I would say, go to your partner and give them some words of affirmation right now. Look at them in their eyes and tell them something you appreciate about them. That's my challenge to you.
I love that. Mine would be like, if you don't know how you receive love or how your partner receives love, figure that out. Yeah, because I just figured that out. So.
Yep, we just learned.
We're on our way.
Yep. But yeah, stick around. Next week we'll be back on schedule since we got our computer issues fixed. So we'll be back on schedule, dropping them on Sundays. So again, podcast every Sunday. So stay tuned for the next one, and we'll see you then.
Peace out.
Bye.